everyone, it's Annette Green here. It is week 47 of 2025, and every week I do a craft or craft related video. And I'm going to be playing today with the Delicate Fancy Purse die, a brand new die designed by Angelica Turner for Elizabeth Craft Designs. And I'm going to combine my new Romantic Revival papers and some of that whole release. So let's get started. Let's talk about the die really quick. This is like a prototype set. I have the number 2309, but it is called the Delicate Fancy Purse. And I'll take a moment and pop the picture up of the packaging. I don't receive it usually in the packaging because I tend to get things early so I can start playing with them. So here's all the pieces and the parts. And as you saw by the picture, it is so easy to put together. But there's this lovely, gorgeous overlayer here that fits the bigger pieces of the purse. I opted not to do that this time just because I want to sort of showcase my new Romantic Revival paper, but this really adds a lot of stability to the purse and also just makes it gorgeous. So if you're using more subdued colors, I would use that overlayer for sure. And these are just decorative little corners, and I believe these are little decorative pieces we can add to the front, like a little locket closure. And then these are your sides, and this is your base. So I have all the pieces cut out, made some adjustments because I was concerned if I wasn't using the overlayer, was my bag going to be strong enough, my purse? And so what I did is I cut the same pieces. So this is one of my Romantic Revival papers. And by the way, don't get confused and cut it the wrong way. The first time I did it this way, and I realized, no, it's wider at the bottom, because everything comes together. So you've got to do it this way. So I have this heavyweight cardstock. It's 100 pound. And I'm just going to line most of the insides of the pieces with that. Now, when it comes to the side panels here, this is supposed to be soft and flexible. So I'm not going to line any of that. I already have it folded on the scores. So even though there's one die, you need two sides cut out, and I decided to use this stripe paper for my sides, my gussets, let's say. And you can see by my little score and fold here, I did not ink in there, but I inked out here on these score lines. Inside, these recess and go toward or away from you, and these come toward you. So I didn't ink those in there, but there's a little triangle and then a line up the center. So I've got those ready to go. Two of those, like I said, one base paper with this polka dot paper, and then these will be both sides of my bag, my purse. And then the little flap for the lid, I used another pink paper. So it's all these versions of pink that I think are going to pull together really nicely. Okay, so again, with the cardstock pieces, you'll have to do a little bit of adjusting because I don't really want to include these scores, these flaps here. I don't need that. I have them here. I don't want to add too much bulk in that area. Just grab my trimmer, and I'm going to come inside the score line just a little bit, just to avoid having too much bulk in that folded area. So, I mean, it's just not even barely a 1/16 of an inch. And I'm using my Fiskars trimmer because it has the wire and I can see exactly where I'm cutting. So I'll do that to that one, and that will fit in there nicely without interrupting the fold. And then the same with this one. You can fold on it if that helps you to see it better, but I can see it just fine. I am going to do the same for that. Now we have to do an additional score on the flap. This is the one built into the die. But there are instructions when you watch some of the videos where you can do a version where you have this open a little more. This can be flat and you can pinch your purse all the way, or you can allow a little more space, which is what I want to do. So that means when I get to doing this, I am going to cut this actually right here because I don't want anything on the fold. And this is super thick. So you see this point here and here. I'm going to line that up. I'm going to come a little bit below the point on this side. I'm kind of looking at this edge, making sure this is square. Okay, so that's one part. And then I'm going to scooch it on the other side and just cut away little tiny bit, like a 1/16 of that part. So I hope that makes sense. I'm just trying not to have anything where the actual pattern paper is going to be folding. So let's check that and see if that works. So I think I need to trim just a little bit more off of there. I think this one's going to be fine. I can tell. Yeah, plenty of room. Doesn't hit the other fold, but I am going to shave just a little more off of this edge. Now when I check it, I have plenty of space there. It's not down in the fold, so I'm going to keep that with that. I've got this one that goes with this one. We didn't have to trim anything off of those because there was no score lines. So I've got 2 of those. Nothing for my side panels, like I said. And I've got my little flap and my base. All right, so I'm going to glue all of those things into place. However, what I want to do first, especially for this, is I am going to have a magnet here. I've got some of these good old basic gray magnets from forever ago, and I swear I hoarded them long ago because I was afraid that, you know, basic gray kind of went out of business, but the magnets are still around, so you can still find them. If I can get a link for you, I will put it in the description. So what I want to do is put one of these negatives or positives, doesn't matter, on this flap. And then by putting the cardstock over it, it'll cover it up. It's not just, you know, right in your face when you open up this cute little bag. So put that one there. Whoops. My Glassboard Studio is magnetic, so the little magnet just took off on me. Okay, and then I will glue this in here. And I'll just use liquid glue. I'm going to use 3-in-1, which is clear, and I'll show you the bottle here in just a minute. But I didn't put glue right in that area where the magnet is. I don't want anything to interrupt the ability of the magnet to work. And I will stick a few clips on here, especially around the magnet. Just these little sewing clips are pretty great for this. The rest of it I think is okay. I could just put my block on there, which almost dropped right on my glass mat. Don't do that. It's on there in a minute. Let that dry. But here's 3-in-1. It's like Fabri-Tac in a way. Very strong glue. I love it. Beacon. If you saw my video on my hand-stitched book and how I glued in the page unit, I use 3-in-1 on there. It just doesn't ever come up. It's nice and strong. Not that other glues won't work. I'm just saying this is my choice today. So this is the base. Once again, I'm getting that right between where it can fold really easy. And I think I can move my block now and stick that over there. I also have these handy little magnets from the Glassboard Studio. I can stick on there. And then I can put that in the middle. They have all these different magnets too. They're pretty cool. I just have these little square ones right now, and I have the ruler one that's out of the camera view, but it's pretty sweet. And I believe they were having a deal going on. If it's current, I will put the link in the video so you can get the discount. They're always doing some kind of special. Some magnets on that. And then I just have to do these, and I'm all set. This is the back one, so I'm not worried about it, but I just thought, like, oh, well, the magnet, we have to plan out where that second magnet is going to hit the front of our bag, where the flap comes around. So let's not glue the front papers down just yet. All right, I'll put some magnets on that one over there. 4 of those lovely magnets. This looks great. This looks great. I think I can take these clips off now. Coming along. And so while I'm waiting to do this, I'll just show you my newest die here is the Lace Heart and Doily set. So I'm making a really sweet, sort of shabby chic, but really kind of like a Valentine for a friend gift purse. So lots of pinks. I'm going to put the word love. This could be for a birthday. You could make it really Christmassy, which is what a lot of people are doing because of the season right now. But in that die set, I have two like nesting ones here. I've got two other ones that are a little taller and fancy. And then I've got this really sweet doily and these lace trims, which we're going to use those lace trims. So while I'm at this with the 3-in-1, I'll just keep using it and adhere these two together. And then I've got the word love over here. Now you could use, there is friend, there's hugs, there's all kinds of words in my newest everyday big words set. So you can just pick something you want, you know, something that fits. Maybe it's a little thank you gift. Maybe it's somebody who's been in the hospital. Enjoy, just the word enjoy and nothing more, or just friend or hello. I'm going to use love. And I just cut that out of the same heavy-duty cardstock, heavyweight cardstock I've been using. And I just used art glitter glue to put that down. No need to use the super strong 3-in-1. Just put that delicate little word on there. And I'm inking the edges with frayed burlap. Just something not so harsh and dark. Now, in the die set, let me grab the handle and show you. There's this great stitched handle. See it with the little stitches in the die here? So this measures, if I lay it over here, 8 inches exactly. Well, I didn't want to use that necessarily because I wanted to incorporate a little more pink in the handle. And this is from one of my papers in the Romantic Revival. There's a whole bunch of border strips in there. And this one just happened to be at 1/2 inch, just like the other. I won't have the little stitches, but it'll be decorative and pretty. And again, because it is just one piece of paper, I want it to be a little stronger. Rather than that super thick cardstock this time, I just cut another piece of like a soft pink. This is the back side of the green gingham. And I'm going to glue these together to make this handle a little stronger. And then I will trim this down to 8 inches. Again, I use the 3-in-1. And as I'm kind of burnishing it, I'm going to curl it at the same time. You could bring it around and clip it to get it, you know, that memory for it to stay curved while the glue is drying, which is what I'm going to do. I'll come back and trim it to the 8 inches in a bit, but I just want that glue to set, and then I will also ink the edges. Now we'll go back to this, putting this magnet on this one. Okay, so the way that I see it, did I tell you the measure here that you have to score? It's right at those little pointy things, but it's basically 1 inch away from that score that's built into the die. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that. You can see that a little better. Okay, and so that's what's going to line up with this, right? Perfectly. So now we know exactly where that magnet needs to land. And the best way I know to do this is hold these together. You can clip them if you're afraid they're going to come out of your fingers. Okay, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's going to snap right where it needs to go. Now, the little sticker is on this side. That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to peel this up, and then I'm going to let that suck onto there again. It just finds it, you know, so it's perfect. Okay, then I can take this and adhere it to this. We don't need the flap anymore because we know, oh, no, yeah, we do. Oh, I'm so glad that happened. Teaching moment. Okay, well, keep them together, but you don't have to clip them. Let's just clip this maybe more flat. How's that? So we can put adhesive on this and get this down next. Stick this on here. And that magnet's right in the middle, under all that glue. Okay, now carefully pull that away so you can really give this some pressure. And any place you see any of that cardstock sticking out, you can always ink that edge again or trim it or whatever you want to do. That looks really good. Okay, and I'll stick my magnets on there just like before. This is where, if you had the forethought, you could have stuck this in between. That's too much thinking for me. I'm going to just adhere this here. This is the base and this is the purse. This is the back of the purse. So even though that would have been nice to have it not showing those flaps in there, that's just too much forethought. But if you were really particular and wanted it all to look the same inside, you could take that extra step. Okay, so now we're going to put the bottom on, and this all lines up beautifully. I'm just going to fold back that tab and get that on there. Brick or magnets while that sets. That's setting. I went ahead and trimmed this to the 8 inches, and I'm going to ink these edges. I think this is going to be such a pretty handle on here. There's so many things you can do. Hey, maybe those little accent pieces that I pointed out earlier, I wasn't really sure what they were, to be honest. Maybe these could be a little decorative something on the sides. All right, well, I'm gonna hold on to those and see if that's what the intention was, or see how that looks. That could be really pretty, I think. Okay, looks good, matches everything. Still has that nice curved shape. I don't want to do any more than that to it, so I'm just going to let that sit over there, and we will get the side panel on here. There's really no wrong way to do this, or, you know, absolutely you have to do it this way. I've been watching Liz with Elizabeth Craft Designs, and she did the bottom and then she did one side. So that's what I'm going to do. Once again, 3-in-1. And since this is just paper, this panel, I don't think it's too critical what type of glue. So with that folded, I'm going to line this up. Okay. I could do the other one over here if I want. But we also have to get this little tab glued here. This is so fun. It's so easy. Okay, got the other one here. I find it easier to just fold that back. And then you can lean off to the side and make sure you're all lined up. Do this little tab, square this up. I'll re-ink that edge right there that you see. And don't rush it, just give that a second. You can get your hand in there, give that a press. Looks good. All right, we'll give that just a second. It's kind of setting up. I grabbed this and I noticed that when Liz was demonstrating this, she folded in the ends about 1/2 inch. There's no score line in the die there. She just kind of eyeballed it, she said. And so I'm going to do the same thing. Now the only difference is she put this on the top of the lid, and that's okay. You see the little tabs up there, but I'm going to put it on the inside. I think that will look a little neater, and we'll see that under there, but that doesn't bother me. So I'm going to get that on next. Longer clips I'm going to stick on there, and you probably could have waited to do this at the end, but I'm just too excited to wait. Okay. All right, so next we have this final panel, and before I go, I want to put a little ink here. Okay, so this is all going to get squared up beautifully. Love that. I think I might trim this a little bit. It's kind of scooched off the edge. Just the off-white cardstock came off the edge a little bit. Okay, so this time the adhesive will go here. The 3-in-1 wants to just keep oozing out, so I keep a paper towel kind of ready over there. So I'm going to put a little bit here, and here. And this is easy to, if it, oozes out when you squeeze things together, it's easy to clean up. It's sticky, but it works. Okay, because we don't know exactly where that has to land until we put our panel on, I'm just going to go ahead and get the glue on here. Then we can mush it all down in one go. All right, cap it up. And then this guy goes on here. And this is where you just kind of squeeze and press and wish you had at least one more hand to keep that all squared up. You can put it on the table, get your hand in there and push it down. Just take your time with this step. Looks pretty good. It feels so nice and solid too. I love it. Okay, so all we need now is adhesive on this flap back here. And I have just a little bit of accents, some little lace trim I want to put on the base of this little purse. I'm not going to do too much to it because it's, just really so pretty with the pattern paper, Romantic Revival. So this will go here. Okay, see, this is where if you didn't have the handle on there, this might be a little easier to deal with. So maybe wait till the end. I mean, I'm managing okay, but just so you don't have to struggle, maybe put the handle on last. There's no reason why you couldn't. It's easy to get to. Okay, I'm going to give that a second. I want to check the magnets so bad. Oh my gosh, did you hear it just snap right on there? Perfect. Love that. Two lace borders that I cut out. These are the ones with the little hearts. I'm just going to do one across the front and the back. I'm not going to do those sides because they kind of pucker in, which they're supposed to do. So I'll trim off a little excess, and I'm going to use art glitter glue for this in my precision glue press. And then I'll put it so it extends past on the left and past on the right. And I can see there's one little hole right there. Oh, that's glue. Okay, I thought the paper didn't pop out. But that's a little glue which will dry clear because this is art glitter glue. Just want to make sure that's not paper. Okay, so we'll give that a minute to dry, and I'll go around and do the other side, and then we'll pop on this. Are drying. I'm going to put adhesive on the lower half of this heart because the top half hangs off. It's not a small heart at all. It's bigger. So that will go hanging off the top, which I think looks super pretty. Okay, take a moment. You can unhinge this and give it a press really good. Sandwich it between your fingers. Oh, this was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Super great die. I could see this for so many occasions. All right, I'm going to trim this carefully. All this little extra. Still a little gluey. That's okay. Okay. That. If you wanted, you could ink that a little bit so it's got that little shabby look like the rest of it. Okay, and at the last minute, I decided it needed just a little something here. I don't want to put a bunch of flowers or anything on this one, so I added a little bow. This bow is from one of my new sets as well, Build a Bouquet, and it's just this simple bow right here that typically would go around the little bag here. The little sack that the bouquet would go into right there. So I kind of altered it a little bit to fit there at the bottom of my heart. And it is all done. Super sweet, so much fun, really fast to come together. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you give one of these a try, and I will see you next time. I don't know that it'll be next weekend because it's Thanksgiving weekend here in the States and I will be traveling, but as soon as I'm able, I will see you next time in the next crafty video.